we balanced our balance sheet
Okay,
last
it
time.
just started. Sorry.
Oh shoot!
Go ahead.
Wait, started all over then.
No, you can just keep going. Or just start from the top. Yep.
Okay, so due to unforeseen circumstances, we were not able to have a conference, but from student feedback, we balanced our balance sheet from the prior period because it was off from last time.
Okay, I just like to talk a little bit about the WAC rate. Come to that. So, over to the WAC ratio here. So in order to calculate the average, we basically just took the total average of the mortgage loan and the extra bank loan, and then we also took the average between the common stock and retained earnings. And if we come back, you can see our averages over here. Scroll up a little bit. And then from the total of all the averages, we were able to proportion out how much percent of each section equals the total. Our rates were calculated based off of just kind of average rates that we decided on as a group for the extra bank loan and the mortgage. And then the rate for the retained earnings summed with the common stock is calculated through CAPM. Our adjusted rate is basically just the rate, and then we also take into calculation the tax, and then our weighted average is the adjusted rate times the proportion, and calculating all that, we're able to come up with a WAC rate of 8%. But let me just talk a little bit about our unlevered, relevered T-bill, S&P, and equity beta. Our T-bill, we kind of just looked online and we were able to get an average of 2.5% based on just kind of the market average right now. And then the S&P 500 is having returns around 10% right now over a 10-year basis. And then we just, our unlevered, our unlevered, we basically just looked on some of the government websites in order to kind of look at what our industry was in, which is retail and carpet sales. And we were able to determine a unlevered beta of 0.76, which allowed us to determine our relevered beta of 1.27. And so that's just a little bit about how we were able to calculate our WAC ratio.
All right, and so we got our free cash flows from getting our operating profit minus the depreciation, which are both from our balance sheet, and then subtracting those for our taxable operating profit. And then we then multiplied this number by our tax rate to get our taxes on operations only. And then our operating profit minus our taxes on operations equals our total cash from operations. And then our profitability of potential investments, or in other words, our IRR, we got by using the IRR function in Excel with our total free cash flows. And the net present value of our cash, we obviously use the NPV function with the WAC rate to determine this amount.
Finally, we added in our goodwill to the fixed assets portion of the balance sheet by balancing out the assets and liabilities, and adjusted to balance out the IRR and the WAC rates. We used GoalSeek in Excel to adjust and create these values appropriately. We finalized with an 8% WAC and a 10% IRR.
All right. And that's just a little bit about our presentation here. Feel free to critique us in the discussion board post, and thank you very much for listening to our presentation.